Do I have good audio and video?
Good morning.
All good.
Very good. I had to figure out why my video was lagging for the last few weeks. So I went through a lot of things just to learn that all I need to do is unplug my video camera and plug it back. And that goes back to normal. I went through I was very close to reformatting computer just to make sure that it's working as it's supposed to. Okay, so do you see the screen now?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Well, welcome. How many people do we have? Are we waiting for anyone else, Gary, or are we starting?
I think we might be good to go. They all know that it's being recorded, so they can jump on and catch the first couple minutes if they missed it.
Very good. So we will get started. Spend 2 hours today from 10 to 12. Maybe in 1 hour, we'll make a quick break. Take a quick break, maybe in the bathroom or get some water, whenever you need to do, stretch. And we'll end up finishing it at 2 p.m. And that's not 2, I'm sorry, 12. No, just 2 hours is from 10 to 12. It's not from 10 to 2. And we'll have a lot of fun. We'll be interactive. I want to thank you all for having cameras on. Having cameras helps, especially if you can see the eyes. Helps to communicate. And feel free to stop me at any time. We'll try to play some games as we go. I don't want this to be a very boring session, but the format, the frame would be like this. We start, first session will be about 1 hour long, little break, another 1 hour session, and then you'll do some things after we are done. You'll do it on yourself. We'll have some fun. Maybe we'll do some role plays today, and we'll see if we can set you up for success. Now, quickly about myself, I've been real estate agent since 2012. 2012 was my first year in business, and been selling since 2012. I've been in real estate before 2012. I did some house flipping, bought a bunch of investment properties. So very familiar with real estate. Had a very successful career as an agent. My first year did $185,000 in commission. Second year, 350, third year, 500, fourth year, 750, fifth was 8 plus 100, built a team, and then got into real estate brokerage business. I'm operating partner or operating principal of Keller Realty Dallas. And I have a partner in business, Brad. He's our principal broker for the market center. So that's kind of a little bit about myself. So you know who is here with you today. And I'd like to learn now about you guys. And I'll just go through the list. I see the first individual is Ardit. Is that how I pronounce the name?
My name is Ardit. Yeah.
Ardit. Hi, Ardit.
All right. Good morning,
Tell me,
everybody.
who are you and how long you've been licensed? Do you have a real estate license? And just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So I got my real estate license here in the United States in October of last year. So pretty new still. Before October, I worked in Italy for about a year as a realtor as well. But now I'm working with Zoe and with her team. So, just going forward.
Okay, so you're working with Zoe. What did you do before getting into real estate?
Before getting into real estate, here in the United States, I was just like at home. I just went moved to the United States 2.5 years ago. So before that, I was just hustling.
Got it. Same country as Zoe?
Was that?
Same country as Zoe?
No, from Italy.
From where?
Italy.
Oh, Italy. nice. Welcome.
Thank you.
I assume you speak Italian.
Yeah,
A
I do
little
that.
bit. Yeah. Beautiful. So what did you do in Italy, if you don't mind sharing?
So yeah, no, I was a realtor for about a year. Before that, I was working in the hospitality industry, as they call it here, a server.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Wonderful. All right. On my screen next is Peter.
Morning. So I've had my license since last summer, and affiliated with KW Dallas, obviously. So I've had a handful of transactions. I've got a lot of clients, prospective clients, who are going to or say they're going to get involved in the market later this year. I've got a couple of clients right now that are in the difficult position. They've got a property to sell, but they're not sure where they're going to buy, and that, I think, is fairly typical these days. So prior to real estate, I spent a career in the Navy, flew and hunted submarines, and then after that, I got involved in government contracting for about 20 years, primarily in information technology, information security, cybersecurity kinds of things. So I've enjoyed my time with KW Dallas, and looking forward to having a great year.
We are so honored to be in business with you, Peter. Thank you.
Likewise.
Thank you for serving our country. How many plane crashes did you survive? You want to tell me?
2 so far.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, Chris. You on mute? You're still on mute. Chris, you are still on mute.
Sorry, I'm working on a renter situation that's very competitive, and the other agent did not. So I'm a little stressed out. Hi.
Hello.
I've had my license nearly 6 years. I put it on inactive status. I am from the marketing and data and analytics and MarTech area. So I sold digital media. I've been in media a long time, 20 years. And was like Maggie Hatfield, a former AOLer. That's how we connected to each other. And I've always wanted to do real estate. I ran back in the day when AOL was still behind a walled garden. I ran the real estate channel and realtor.com relationship. I've had a couple of really good real estate mentors. And so I've always wanted to do it. I lost my job July 8th and said, I'm going to reignite my real estate license and get back into it. I still probably will take another job because I don't have enough of a runway. But I've gotten clients pretty quickly. 3 buyers. I have a listing coming up. And I'm just trying to figure out my marketing. That's been a big issue. So I've thought I would do my foundation, start doing my marketing, and try to be gentle with myself, because I tend to be hard on myself and want everything right away, and it just doesn't happen that way. So I was waiting for this for a long time.
Awesome. Well, welcome. Caitlin.
Hello everyone. So my name is Caitlin. I'm originally from Greenwich, Connecticut, but now I'm down in the Virginia area after graduating college in 2017 at University of Richmond. I've always wanted to be a realtor. I actually worked for Nest Seekers for a couple of years during my college, internships, and got to work with a few of the people on that $1 million, listing Bravo show. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, it's always kind of been my secret passion, real estate in general. But I'm just starting out. I just got my license in September and I'm ready to go. So I'm very excited about this course.
Wonderful. Welcome. Thank you, Caitlin. So we have one of our instructors, Cece, joining us. So Cece, yeah, unmute yourself and yeah, introduce yourself and tell us why you're here. Are you just here to shadow or to teach or to learn, or maybe both?
Hi, Art. Hi, everybody. Originally, I was going to teach this class, but Art thought he could teach it better. No, I know he can. Yeah, but anyway, I've been a real estate agent for 5 years, 4.5 of them with Keller Williams, and I am on the ALC, and I am chair of the which chair am I? The culture committee. Thank you. I wasn't expecting to talk today, Art. So I'm the chairman of the culture committee. I invite everybody to join that committee. It's a lot of fun. Hopefully we can get back to normal and start having some big events, some events that would be really good. I just thought I would sit in and see how this class goes. I will be teaching section 8 of the Ignite program. So you'll see me around the office. My personal office is right at the bottom of the steps. You can't miss it. You go straight into it. You're welcome to stop by anytime, mask required. But I look forward to helping and being involved with everybody. If there's anything I can do, don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks.
Thank you, Cece. Cece is one of our top producers. And if you wonder, like thinking, what is ALC? ALC is Agent Leadership Council. It's like, for the simple explanation would be like a board of directors for Keller Williams Realty Dallas. And that's where they make decisions. We're going to have an ALC meeting later today. So that's kind of, maybe we'll spend the last session on talking about how Keller Williams operates, how our office operates. It's not today's session. So let's have some fun today. Now, one thing that I want to ask you all, on the scale 1 to 10, 10 being totally honest, and 1 being total liar, like, what do you want me to be today?
Completely honest.
Okay.
Yeah, 10, I think, would be the obvious answer.
About 10, right? Maybe Chris wants me to be at 5. Who knows?
Or you could entertain us and be a 1.
Be a 1. All right. So is it okay if I'm being 10 at all given time? All right. So some things that you might not like that I'm about to tell you, and but I would rather be totally transparent and honest than sugarcoat anything and then waste your time and waste our, oh, here's Mike Seidel, our tech ambassador behind Kari. Hello, Mike. And so I'll be totally transparent with you, and I will tell you what I think you need to do in order to succeed. And then you'll hear from Cece and other wonderful instructors as we go for the next, it's 2-week course. We have a lot of ground to cover, so we're not going to be reading every slide, every piece of paper that you received. I assume you passed the real estate exam. You know how to read. That's confirmation that you know how to read. Otherwise, you would not pass the real estate exam. So you can read that at your convenience, and you're going to do your homework, I assume. But there's only one thing that I and all the other instructors we're trying to accomplish in the next couple of weeks is to help you build a habit of lead generating, where you lead generate every day. And even my dog agrees with me. Hold on, let me let him in because he's going to start barking. 1 second. Come on, China. Go. You can come here. So to build a very powerful lead gen habit where it becomes so natural, where you don't have to really sweat and panic when this time comes during the day. Like how hard it is for you to brush your teeth in the morning. Right? Caitlin, was it hard? Did you have to put a lot of energy into that? Like just, well, maybe I asked the wrong person. Maybe you didn't brush your teeth.
No, mine are perfect.
Right. So it's really does not take a lot of energy or effort. You just do it habitually. And the goal is, as an instructor of Ignite and CC and everybody else who's going to teach you, we're here to help you to build this one habit, which will determine the success of your business. And now we'll talk about marketing, we'll talk about different strategies, we'll have classes about the contracts. You'll learn a lot, but if you don't do one thing, which is lead gen, I almost kind of like, I would say like, don't even bother, like continuing the course. Sooner or later, you're going to have to lead gen. Now, how are you going to do it? There's different ways. Like you don't have to be cold calling people. You don't have to be door knocking. There's different ways. We're going to talk about different strategies. But if that is something that you're not willing to do, and being totally transparent, 10 on the 10, you're wasting your time. Sooner or later, you're going to have to do it. Some agents will start doing it 2 years in the business. They have not sold the house and something happened. Oh my gosh, I need to do something. Some will start doing it during the Ignite course. And the ones, you're going to have to do it sooner or later. Like I had this conversation with my one of my daughters a couple of days back about high school. I said, you have to study whether it's now or later. Sometime you're going to really have to work hard. And for a real estate agent, it's a lead gen. And you're probably going to be sick and tired of me repeating the same thing. But so there's only going to be one thing that I will always be falling back to is like, okay, have you done your lead gen? And what you will find out that the lead gen is really not that complex, but it's quite often uncomfortable. Like this is one thing that agents don't like doing. I see quite often agents come to the Ignite, they're very excited. They say, oh my gosh, now I'm going to have 2 weeks of powerful training. And when the Ignite ends, that's where the reality sinks. Okay, now I have to pick up the phone and start making calls. And I think that's the big mistake that we as instructors are allowing this to happen. We have to really work with you on making maybe a little baby steps every day towards building that habit of lead gen, which will guarantee the success in this business, right? So that's the one thing that we all going to be, I think, very consistent on the message. There's different strategies. You're going to have different styles. Every instructor will bring you a lot of value. All the instructors are top producers in the office. They had massive success. That's the only way you can teach. And I see Nick standing in the door. He's going to be teaching one of the classes. Nick Letkins. I think their goal is to do $1 million in sales this year. I think they closed 700, if I remember correctly, in 2020. Donna and Nick Letkins. So you and CC, again, you're going to have a lot of different people coming up with different strategies. But one thing that we all be coming back to, okay, are you doing your lead gen? If you're not doing your lead gen, don't bother learning the real estate contract because you won't have anyone to use it on. Okay. All right, I think I've been sitting on this soapbox for too long now. I think the message is pretty clear, right? We have to lead gen. And there's one simple form that I'm going to introduce you later. It's daily 10-4. And we will be asking you to do that every day. If you want to succeed, only if you want to succeed in this business. If you came here just to listen to the classes, fine, enjoy. I'll enjoy time with you. But if you want to succeed, you're going to have to do your daily 10-4. All right. Now, who's brave enough? I'd like to learn, what's your big why? Like, why did you get the real estate license? And if we have someone who's brave enough, go ahead, just start talking. Yes, Chris.
I love real estate, and I think I was initially drawn to because I just love homes and I loved the whole process myself. But as I'm helping people, I really get a huge amount of satisfaction out of helping people transition. And I've sold a lot of very large deals to big brands in my time. And, I made really good clients across the country, across the world. But even just helping a rental client find a new house and transition and make them feel comfortable is really satisfying to me. So yeah, the money can be good, but I think there's an emotional aspect. Plus it's working within my community. I worked across the country and sometimes the world, and I love where I live and I love talking about it. Like the clients I had over the weekend were moving up from Florida, the rental clients, but telling them where to go to the grocery store and that kind of thing. So to me, there's like an emotional satisfaction to it that I really enjoy. And I found I had a talent for it.
So how would you envision your ideal life as a real estate professional, Chris?
Well, I would certainly like listings. I'd like to build up my business, so I can eventually more than sustain myself, but become really well known as being able to help people make that transition, sell their homes, buy their homes, and learn more about where they live and, be independent about it. And to build up that reputation, to have people say, hey, Kristen's a really good agent, she'll go to the nth degree and provide a white glove service, individualized. Mm-hmm. But I'd like to be within at least a year or two, be able to be self-sustaining with it, and not just self-sustaining. I want it to flourish. One of my challenges is I don't have children, so I don't have a school system to, leverage. I'm very good at building business relationships. I have some businesses in town, and I live in Leesburg, that I'm working with and doing some co-marketing. And I'm good at that part. I'm good at content. I'm good at reaching out and good at developing those relationships. That has been my biggest challenge. And most of my sphere of influence is all over the country in big tech corridors. So, but again, what I'd like to see myself is that I'm not just sustaining myself, but I have a thriving business, and I look at it as my own business. And as I'm working on my style and what I provide, I'm trying to provide something, like I said, that's a little bit more white glove.
Mm-hmm. Who else wants to share? Like, how do you see your ideal life as a real estate professional? Meaning, what charities do you support? Like, what kind of house do you own? Like, what's happening? Like all the stars are aligned next 10 years, and you're killing out of the park. You just succeeding at the highest level possible. Yes, Caitlin, go ahead.
Yeah, I think for me, my dad was really big into real estate growing up. So I was always this little, +1 to all the open houses. And for me, it's really a sentimental, nostalgic kind of feeling. And I really do have a genuine passion for this. A little bit in my background, though, I did a lot of B2B sales and marketing when I first was starting out into the career world after graduating. And so I really have that drive for success. The one thing I think for me, I would love to get into more of like the nonprofit, because I'm 26, I'm not a mom, we're getting engaged soon, things like that. So I don't have that little network like Chris mentioned. But yeah, I have endometriosis, and I've already had 7 surgeries for this horrible disease. And so I'm actually getting involved with a lot of pain nonprofits and endometriosis nonprofits and things like that. And I'm hoping to build my network through that kind of way. So I don't know, I'm just really excited to get going and start going for it.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Well, I would recommend everyone, you don't have to share it here on this call, but just take time, sometime maybe today, and ask yourself, what exactly I'm trying to accomplish? Where do I want to be? How big I want this to be? Because the things will get tough, and it's not going to get easier as you go. And this big why will be something that will pull you at those moments where you you kind of about to give up. And you're all going to go through this, like especially the new licensees. I do not know a single agent who had it like very smooth. Chances are you're not going to have a closed transaction 6 or 12 months. And that's normal. And I did not have a transaction for 6 months. And for me, I came from being a business owner. I had 80 people on the payroll. I still had a successful trucking company. I ended up doing house flipping. I said, I'm going to be a one-man show. And I got into real estate, got a real estate license. And I thought, oh, I'm going to put 5 people on the phone. They're going to start making calls. I'm going to hire a couple agents to go show houses. Little did I know that none of this will work. It was a totally different business. And everything that I've learned in my life was not very useful in like business mindset. I think it was useful, but I still I could not believe I could not get a single buyer or seller to work with me for like a few months. It was frustrating. You know, I love saying what kept me in this business was the windows that would not open, because I was, I think, in the 4th floor in Kelwin's restaurant office, and the windows don't operate. Like they you know, like high-rise building, they have those windows that you cannot open and close. Literally, I wanted like 5 times open the window, drop my computer, just crash it, and just leave. I said, like, I'm not doing this. And so like I always think that, okay, I couldn't open the window, so I ended up sitting at the computer and continue to do lead gen. But all jokes aside, I think having conversations with team leader and other agents who've been very successful helped, and kind of like to continue forward. And then you go to your big why, whatever that is. For me, I don't know, I don't know, like it wasn't a smart big why, but for me, I just wanted to prove to myself that I can do it, because I don't like giving up. I don't like losing. So for me, it wasn't like really financially motivated, or I just like, okay, if those agents are able to do it, I can do it myself. And there's a lot of money to be made, and there's a lot of lives can be impacted in a positive way. And it's like, why not? Why not me? So take some time today, look and think about it. Like, why are you doing it? Because you can always go back to that and say, well, I want to support those charities. I want to donate $1 million, whatever the plan is. And that might actually help you at the moments when you don't feel like to continue to do it. So
one of the things that was helpful, because you know I work with Maggie Hatfield on her team, is at the beginning of the year, we went to her house and we did vision boards. You know, and every year a vision board's different. And this may be something that women like to do, maybe not men, I don't know. But it was helpful in sort of, I'm sitting here looking at mine and I look at it every day. So, and it's a real estate vision board. It's not just, you know, my life vision board, although there are other extraneous parts of my life that are included in it. So
I love it. I've done it a few times. There's in MAPS coaching, that's Kelwin's, we have a bold training, and one of the sessions is where we do a vision, and we cut different things from magazines, like big mega yacht or like beach houses, and we made them pretty. It was, you know, it was very interesting. I really enjoyed that experience on just thinking about it and having it in front of you every day to look at it. Yeah, that's a very good point, Chris. Thank you. So what do successful agents do? What do they do? Well, as I said before, any agent, successful agent, will do lead gen. Like, you have to grow your business every day. So in the perfect world would be you wake up, you eat your breakfast, and you start doing your lead gen to set up buyers and seller appointments. Now, when you do that for 3 hours a day, consistently, time over time, you will be setting up buyer and listing appointments. So let's say you started at 9 o'clock, at 12, you are done with your lead gen. You will have lunch, and then you go do presentations. You meet with buyers and sellers. And if you don't have a presentation that day, if you don't have any consultation set, then you preview real estate, go look at some houses. So become a local market expert. Right, so that's kind of your day. Now, if you have clients already who are looking for homes, you have to write an offer, you have to do different things. So that's all those things need to be pushed into the afternoon. Like the number one thing that I think what really helped me was really where I understood that if I steal time from lead gen, it will never get replaced. We like telling you, if you steal it, if you didn't do lead gen that day, you should go ahead and do it at night. In my world, it doesn't happen. My willpower, it's like a battery. Towards the end of the day, it's kind of draining and it does not have much power left. So when I schedule my day, it's always scheduled around lead gen. And once the lead gen is done, I can go to home inspections, I can go show houses, and you're going to have a lot of distractions. People are going to say, hey, I want to look at this house at 9 a.m. And you can say, oh, let me check my calendar. Oh, I'm sorry, I have an appointment. I cannot do it. And that appointment, it's with you. It's your lead gen appointment, right? Imagine if you were working somewhere, like during those hours. You wouldn't show houses during that time. You would say, I have an appointment. So a lot of agents, we end up being, oh yeah, they want to go at 9 a.m. No, you have an appointment. That appointment is with you to do lead gen. And we'll talk again, what kind of lead gen? Is it marketing based? Is it prospecting based? There's different ways of lead generating, but that's what successful agents do. Now you're going to see, well, is that the only way to succeed? Unfortunately, yes, that's kind of the only way to succeed. You can start, like Chris said, hey, I want to learn about marketing. And there's one session about marketing, and that's Maggie going to be teaching it. But we have to be extremely careful with marketing. At the peak, I was spending $30,000 a month in marketing per month. And the best marketing systems I had were the ones that were breaking even. Most of them did not break even. So the best return you will find out yourself is on your prospecting activities. And prospecting does not cost anything. It's just your time. So the best model would be to have a business that's prospecting based and marketing enhanced. So where you prospect every day for business, and then you market yourself as a real estate expert on top of it. Not any way around. I spent maybe 6 years trying to figure out how to turn it around, or just people call me, and didn't quite work. There are ways that you probably hear on the radio. Your home sold guaranteed, I'll buy it. Like Sarah and Debbie Reynolds will run different ads, TV ads. That's kind of a marketing that will get your phone to ring, but there are very few other marketing avenues that people would call you and say, hey, Peter, sell my house. Like it's going to have to be, for the most part, prospecting based business. And as you grow, as you make money, you lead with the revenue, not the expenses. At some point, you can scale down on prospecting. You earn your right to do more marketing, and you have the revenue to do it. And that's where you lower your time on how much you're going to spend on prospecting, and you increase marketing budget, right? Because marketing gives you more time. But again, you have to be extremely, extremely careful on spending dollars in marketing. And again, I'm saying it because I went through it for the last 8 years. My marketing budget is close to zero now. And at the peak, it was $30,000 per month. So if you have questions about marketing, happy to share what works and what doesn't, what worked for me and what didn't work for me. So Ignite, we start with Spark. We'll talk about your sphere of influence. What kind of tools do we have? How to prepare for success. Then we'll go into Oz. and talk about daily success habits. Then the second hour, we will talk about prospecting, and that will be different. I think it's called elements, whatever it's called. We'll look it up. So Spark is basically in Spark, we're going to focus on just not how to do the contract, not how to do marketing, but it's really like teaching you how to lead gen, teaching you how to what are the daily success habits, and how can we help you be successful agent. And the good news is, again, it's to be a successful real estate agent, it's pretty simple, right? It's not complicated at all. It's maybe not very convenient. We have to do things that are uncomfortable, such as connecting with our database and asking for business. Not many people enjoy that. I don't want to be salesman. I don't want to call people. I don't want to text them. Don't call them, text them, send the messages, but you have to communicate somehow. And we'll talk about that. So the idea is why are you connecting with those people? You connecting with those people is for one reason. You want to build a database or data bank of people that if they ever think about buying or selling real estate, your name will pop, right? So like, for example, if you might have a good mechanic, car mechanic, really hard to find. If you have one that's good, if anyone is asking, hey, Chris, do you know a good car mechanic? You're like, oh, hey, you have to go and see John. He's wonderful, right? So the idea is that you have a database of people who are always thinking of you as a real estate expert. And the only way to do it, to establish that, is through consistent communication with your database and a little bit of marketing dripping on them every month via newsletter, saying, hey, here's the market, here's what's happening, inventory levels, whatever is in your newsletter. Is not that important, but just like it needs to be consistent once a month. And then once a quarter, phone call, text, or instant messaging, just checking in with them, seeing how they're doing. And you grow that database over time, more and more people will be thinking, okay, if I need to sell a house, Peter is my guy to go to. And the size of your database will determine really how big your life will be. If you have 100 people, I'll just give you math if you want to. It's very simple math. If you have 100 people that know you and they will take a call from you, and if you invite them to have a Starbucks coffee, they will come and meet you. If you have 100 people like this and you stay in touch with them, there's a campaign, a 36 touch campaign, we call it. But in the nutshell is if you send them 12 newsletters every month, every year, and if you call them once a quarter and invite them to some kind of client appreciation event, and you will have about 10 transactions, 100 contacts in your database. If you work them effectively, will generate about 10 transactions. 10 transactions, the average commission in our office is now about $12,000, from 10 to 12,000. So you'll have $100,000 business just from 100 people in your database. So like if I had to end the class now, I would say just get you 100 people and communicate with them. 12 newsletters, 4 calls, and then maybe 2 or 3 client appreciation events a year, and you'll have 10 transactions. That's kind of in the simple math on how to start building your business. And then if you want 20 transactions, you need 200 people. And the challenge becomes that you cannot have so many sincere relationships. You can only have maybe 100, 200. So you will see you as an agent usually cap at about 20 to 25 transactions. Like that's where how much business you can generate as an individual. But that's not bad. It's like $250,000, $300,000 in income. And if you want to scale it, if you want to grow it, then you have to invest money in marketing and or add people to you have to build a team, bring the sales team. Ignite. How are we doing on time?
Hi, I'm Gary Keller. This course will allow you to get off to a fast start you can build on. Because if you repeated the principles every 90 days for a year, believe me, you'd have an awesome first year. And just as important, you would have built the foundation and momentum
Just want to make sure that I'm sharing the sound.
for your entire career. It is practical, realistic, and easy to apply. It's about the fundamentals that determine your level of success in the business of real estate. From our research with top agents, we have found that they too started their careers with these fundamentals, and they continue to do them along with their teams to this very day. And it's not hard. It just requires a little focused effort, a few hours every day. Now, there is really just one way to achieve the goal. It's lead generation. Other skills are important, yet without leads to work with, your skills won't mean a thing. Dealing with business never takes precedence over what? Finding business. Never. Research shows that top producing agents make lead generation their #1 priority and the one thing they make sure they always get done. You can do this. And when you do, you will get the leads, the relationships, the experiences, the career, and the income that you want and deserve. Go get them, and good luck.
Okay, well, I assume everybody knows who Gary Keller is, right? Probably the most successful real estate agent in the world. He started as an agent and built the largest real estate company that we are part of in the world, 160,000 associates, in US. And if Gary says Legion is the most important thing, like, we better listen. I remember as I shared with you earlier, I thought that somehow I can delegate those things to someone else. And yet real estate is a relationship business. So don't delegate this too early. Don't rely on marketing or anything else. It's going to have to be prospecting based. So whether you do it now or you're going to have to do it 2 years from now, like, let's start building and doing things that what successful agents are doing. So Peter, or no, Ardit, is that how we pronounce you?
Ardit.
Ardit, I'm sorry again.
Okay.
You read this out loud to all of us.
Nothing else about your business will have as big as an impact on it as the number of leads you have.
Well, can someone explain me what, how so, why this is the most important thing?
Because leads drive game, essentially.
Right. Anyone else? Like, go ahead.
I think it's what we've heard from Gary and for the folks that were in family reunion last week. The leads are where your business comes from, and over time, your leads will start generating referrals and hopefully be growing the business.
Right. So if you haven't read MREA book, I highly recommend reading it. And you'll see in MREA book, we call it like Real Estate Bible, there are 3 L's: leads, listings, leverage, right? That's how you build a large real estate sales business. But it always starts with leads. If you have no leads, nothing really will happen, right? You won't make much progress as an agent. You might be really good at contracts. Again, I have bad news to tell you. You won't have anyone to practice that contract with. You don't have any leads. So leads will be something that will determine how successful you are. And when I look at other businesses, I look at the doctors and dentists, and they all are in lead gen business. Like, look at successful dentists, the people who have a lot of clients, They are really good at lead generating. They're very good at getting referrals from their clients. Even medical doctors. I have many friends who live in my neighborhood and they're medical doctors. And the most successful ones are really good at lead gen. The other ones, they just work in the hospital. They just do their hours. The other ones build massive businesses. They have other doctors working for them because they were able to generate overflow of leads, right? So like this is not unique to real estate in any business. So the idea or the way this course should be presented, we should go through Spark for 2 weeks, then elementals for the next 2 weeks, basically business basics, and all the time we're building daily success habits. We are doing a kind of a mix. I think we've seen other market centers do it, and we'll see how it goes. You guys are like a guinea pig. We doing a test run where we do one Spark session for the first hour, and then we do elementals for the second hour. And we're condensing this course to basically 2 hours total, where it should be like 4 hours each, right? So we're kind of gonna be hitting high points. We're not gonna be going line by line on everything, but we'll make sure that we always go back and drive the point of what's the most important thing we as instructors think in business. Start with your sphere. So what is your sphere of influence? Can someone give me like a definition of sphere of influence? You're going to hear that a lot. Sphere of influence, sphere of influence. Well, what does it mean? SOI. I call it SOI. All right, who's gonna be brave enough? Caitlin?
I'll do it. Isn't it just generally the people, in your life? It could just be friends, families, coworkers, people you meet, just touch, in some way or another.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so sphere of influence is people that you have some kind of influence. It's not just your Mets, like someone that you met at the store or saw them someplace else, but these are the people that you like and they like you. It's kind of mutual thing, and you have some kind of relationship that and communication with them, ongoing communication. Don't want to go too deep, but I recommend you, as you start building your sphere of influence, you start labeling them immediately from day one. I'm going to show you where to put your sphere of influence. You can do this all in command. But if you're, for one or the other reason, like it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do, and just you can use a piece of paper, you can use Excel spreadsheet, but you must start building your database starting today. Quite often I tell people just use a spreadsheet. A spreadsheet, it's very easy to edit, it's very easy to organize. And when you build your database, your sphere of influence, you always want to have 4 pieces of information about each lead, about each individual, and that's name, phone number, email, and address. Right, so those 4 pieces of information you need about every single individual, and you need the email so you can drip on them, send them monthly newsletters. You need to have a phone number so you can call them once a quarter, and you need to have the address if you want to really surprise them, send them a thank you card or a happy birthday card. So you need all 4 pieces of information for your sphere of influence. And what I do, and many successful agents do, we also label them, right? So for me, A+ is someone who used me more than once or referred me more than once. A is someone who really likes me and used me once. B's are someone who says, hey, Art, I don't have problem referring you. I just never ran into anyone who was buying or selling. That's B in my world. C is someone that I met, but I don't have good feelings about them. They kind of take my phone calls, but I'm not quite sure that they would use me or would recommend me. And D's is like delete, right? Like those are the people that you can, don't worry about them. Just take them out of your database. You're not going to get anything out of it. So you want to build the sphere of influence as large as you possibly can, because your return on sphere of influence will be enormous. And Chris will say, well, but I don't know anybody. I don't have kids at school and blah, blah. And so I was exactly in the same position. Well, I had kids, but I didn't know anyone. We moved from Maryland to Virginia, and the only people I knew were other side of Maryland, other side of the river, and closer to Annapolis. And I knew some people in Baltimore, and I was in Vienna, Virginia. I was like, okay, how am I going to build my sphere of influence in Virginia if I don't know anyone? I knew one family, literally one family. So I said, well, if I don't have a sphere of influence now, I only have one way out of it. I need to build one. And how do you build one? Well, you go find people. Are you doing, whether it's through open houses or calling expired withdrawal listings, door knocking, whatever avenue you choose, you have to build your first 100 contacts. If you don't do it, nothing's going to happen. Again, you can parachute me now into Minnesota, Minneapolis, or California, or Vegas, anywhere. And give me 6 months, I'm going to build a database. I will create a database. I'm going to have to do a lot of prospecting because I don't have the luxury of being in school with those people or having relatives I'm going to really have to work extremely hard to build it, but I will do it. Give me 6 months, I'll recreate my sphere of influence, and it will take time. And if you nurture and stay in touch with them for a long enough time, this will produce a lot of results for you. So the idea is you want to stay in touch with them pretty much for the rest of your career. Like you have people in the database, you don't ever remove them unless they really did something to offend you, you take them out. But you want to stay in touch. You want to stay in touch with your sphere every year, ideally 4 conversations per year, right? Why is that important? What is this cycle? How often, who can tell me, how often do people move? On average.
I've heard 7 to 10 years, every 7 to 10 years.
Right. Yep. Chris?
Isn't it less in an area like ours? Like 2 to 5.
Right. So the national averages are like 8 to 10 years. Right. That's the national average. But there are, Chris, you are right. There are some neighborhoods, for example, where the turnover rate is much higher than others. And that's like when you really go into marketing, start analyzing marketing, you have to analyze turnover rates. If the neighborhood does not have 5% turnover, you don't want to touch it. You want to go to the neighborhood that has over 5% turnover rate. Because if there's only 2 or 3%, you are throwing money out of the window. So you want to stay in touch with those people that are your sphere of influence, because at some point within 7 to 8 years, they will be making a move. Now, if they are not moving themselves, guess what? They do know of people who are moving. I'm sure they do know of someone who is moving. So let me just give you like a very simple math. I like simplicity in this business. If I was just to choose 100 homes, and I look and I see that historically 5% of homes sell in that neighborhood. Turnover rate is 5%. So there's 100 homes, and I went back 10 years and I looked at MLS. On average, 5 homes sell every year in that neighborhood of like 100 homes. So how many homes will sell starting today and next 12 months? How many? In the next 12 months? How many? 5, exactly. All right, cool. I want to make sure you guys are good with math. 5 homes will sell the next 12 months. And there's mathematical certainty. It's not a rocket science, right? Out of those 100 people, 5 will sell. No one can dispute that fact. Maybe 1 year is going to be 4, next year is going to be 6, but there will be 5 transactions happening. Now, how do you get a hold of those 100 people? If I'm somehow able to get to know all those 100 people and talk to them, I know in the next 12 months, I have an opportunity to have 5 listings. Now, don't get too excited. Out of those 5 listings that will be sold in the next 12 months, I guarantee you 2 or 3 already have an agent who is their cousin, brother, mom, sister. So you're only fighting for those 2 or 2.5 listings that they have not made a decision yet, or they're not obligated. So think about this. So there's 100 people that you go after. 5 transactions will take place, but you have a chance of capturing 50% of it. So if you capture 50% of it, you'll have 2 or 3 listings. Now, again, if your conversion at the appointments is about 50%, you're still gonna get maybe 1 transaction out of it. If you come in and they interview you, and so you can actually, if you like math, you can use math and figure it out exactly what kind of activities do you have to do. Now, the challenge is, because you took a group of people that are total strangers. In order for you to have 100 contacts with total strangers, you're gonna have to go through like 1,000 of homes to build 100 relationships. So that's why it's way faster if you were just to go to your sphere of influence, if you have one. And if you don't, you build one. And how do you build one? Again, you do open houses, you do door knocking, you call the people that you know, you ask who else you should talk to. There's different ways, and you're going to learn through Ignite course. And what do you do when you call your sphere of influence? You use Ford method. How is family? How is work? What do you do for fun? What are your dreams? That's a conversation that you have with your sphere of influence, right? Don't fear your sphere. Practice Ford method. Again, that's what people like talking. So when you talk to them, ask them about how is family. Hey, how is work? Are you still with AOL? Well, I learned they closed. Which company are you with now? Well, maybe don't say that. Don't say that. I heard this company is out of business. What do you do?
They're Verizon.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you do? Are you still playing tennis? What are your dreams? Right. So people love when you ask those questions. That's where you build deep relationships. And again, it's not for everybody. For me, it's really like I really have to challenge myself to learn so much about people and about so many people. For others, it comes naturally. They are just sincerely very much interested in other people. But that's how, like, that's the frame that you want to use when you have the conversations with your sphere of influence. And people are going to love you and respect you. And then you add a little bit of marketing on top of it, and you're going to be successful. All right, so it's 11 o'clock. Just do a quick time check. Tools. So there's plenty of tools that Kellums has. I'm not going to spend time now. We do have a command. There's Keller Cloud and Keller Offer. Like, there's so many tools in our business that you can use. Now, I don't want to overcomplicate things. I just say you get your 100 contacts. If I was you, I would put them directly into command. If you put them on the spreadsheet, you're going to have to import into command. I would start putting them all into command one at a time, starting today. And phone number. Okay, what are the 4 pieces of information? Chris, what do you put?
Name, phone number, address, and email.
That's it. You teaching next class. Nailed it. Name, phone number, address, and email. Now, don't get too excited about emails. Opening rate is about 2%. So when you just send an email blast, you say, oh, I just sent a newsletter, you'll be lucky if you get to like 10, 12% opening rate. It's if you're getting permission from your database to send the newsletter, they will probably be opening more. And if you just take a list of people and start like sending newsletters, the opening rate will be very, very low. So that's why calling is where rubber meets the road. And for younger people, texting I see is a new trend. Like not so much calling, because even me, like when I call people, they text me back. It's like, hey, what's up, Art? So they engage me via text. And I was like, okay, if this is how you communicate, I'm going to just follow your way of communication, as long as it's two-way communication, right? All right, so create the contacts in command. Maybe we can spend some time. I can show you. Do you all have access to the command? Is that correct? Awesome. Everybody has access? Peter, Chris, Arden, you have access?
Yeah, me and Zoe use something else.
Oh, use something else. Okay. As long as you use some kind of database.
Yep.
Oh, Brevity. She uses Brevity. I know everything. All right. So you know how to add contacts, right? Everybody.
Yeah, I've all done. Yeah.
Caitlin, Chris. Okay. Wonderful. You add contacts and you launch a smart plan. What I love about command, it automates you. Like on the spreadsheet, you have to make a notes, whom you called. Quick story. Gary Keller built this company. He's a billionaire, not million. He's a billionaire. He built this company with a shoebox and cards in it. That was his first database. He would have a card. On the card, he would have owner's name, phone number, and address. At that point, I don't think they used emails back 30 years ago. It was not very popular. So, and he would have all those cards in the shoebox, and we go through 1, 2nd, 3rd, and call and make notes and keep making notes. Okay, that person's going to be selling in 2 years. And that's how he built that was his first database. Now we have a command or Brevity. You can use anything you want. It doesn't matter. We have a command that's given to you. And I used to pay, I know Zoe pays probably about $500 a month for Brevity. I paid $1,500 a month to program similar to command, just to have that type of database. Okay, so that's command. Put your database, your Ignite toolkit. You all received PDF attachments like a toolkit. Is that correct? Awesome. You got that. At some point, I'd like to talk about 411. If not today, maybe we'll do it at the last session. I think this is really, really important thing. And here's one thing. You told me to be honest with you. And I'm going to be totally honest with you. And I'm not going to ask you to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself. And whether it's, hey, I'm using this tool that works for me. And quite often we run into people who say, hey, you should do this. I don't do it myself, but you should do it because it really works. Personally, I'm giving you commitment on not to ask you to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself or I haven't done myself and had a good result. Okay. Success habits. Spark learning modules, elementals. That's where we're going to jump into prospecting very soon. So daily 10-4, I just want to tell you about that one tool that will be the most important thing and one activity that I'm asking you to do. If out of anything else, if you don't do anything else for the next couple of weeks, just do that one activity, and that's called daily 10-4. So the goal is for you daily to add 2 new contacts to your database. You all have a lot of phone numbers. You have people on LinkedIn, you have people on Facebook, but they scatter in all over the place. You need to start adding them into your database, whether it's a shoebox, whether it's a command or Excel spreadsheet or piece of paper. You have to add 10 contacts to your database daily. Now then, that's where it really gets scary. You need to connect with 10 people in your database. So here you can actually kill 2 birds with 1 stone. If I was doing Ignite and basically tomorrow I said, okay, I need to connect with 10 people and I need to add 10 people to the database. I'm basically killing, well, 3 birds with 1 stone. So think about this. I call someone that I know and say, hey, John, this is Art, Keller Williams Realty. I just wanted to check in with you, and I'm a real estate agent now, been licensed for about a year, and I'm looking to grow my business. And I'd like to update my your contact information. What's your email address? Okay, I write down this. What's the address where you currently live? Okay, because sometimes I send an invitation to client appreciation events or some coupons. So what's the best address for me to have? So you put the address, and then and when you think about this, you have email, phone number, name, you have all the 4 pieces of information that you need, and you having 10 contacts every day. And actually, you're talking to 10 contacts. So you see, you killed 2 birds with 1 stone. And once you're done with a conversation, you write it quickly a thank you note. You buy one from dollar store, like 100 for $1, and it's a simple thank you cards. There's a lot of science behind it. There's a lot of science. If you want to read books about the thank you notes and how they how to win friends and influence others, that's one great book to read. But there's a lot of science. You just have to believe that those things do work. So you send a card to everyone saying, hey, it was great talking to you today. I hope all is well. That's it. Big smile on the card. And you mail that. And then again, today we have a power of internet, so we can preview homes without leaving a house, right? Like you don't even have, like, it's COVID time. You might want to just, pick the neighborhood, do some searches. I'm really not that concerned about this last component. Like we want you to become the market expert. Yet again, if you just do those, this is your daily 10-4. The way we looked at this course, we giving you a lot of information in 2 hours, but the expectation is that you start your day not at 10 a.m. with the instructor, but you start your day at 9. And from 9 to 10, you try to get your activities in, like whether it's adding to contacts of the database or talking to 10 people. Now, let me give you a warning. 1 hour is not enough. From 9 to 10, you probably have to spend actually about 3 hours to get all this done. Because a lot of people will not be answering the phone. You will have to do some tax record searches to find addresses. Maybe you want to do that. So, but if you just were to commit at least 1 hour between 9 and 10 during each Ignite class to do that, you would have you would be so much closer to building that habit of daily lead gen, right? And if you do this every day, in 10 days, you should get to 100 contacts. It's very, very simple. Now, if you don't have the contacts, like you don't have sphere of influence, local sphere of influence, you're going to start panicking, but that will force you to, okay, what do I need to do? How do I find people? What kind of activities do I need to do to grow to my first 100 people? So daily 10-4, that's one thing that we all as Ignite instructors will be referring to. And we had a Ignite instructor meeting on Friday, and we all agreed that we will be checking in on with you in the beginning of the Ignite session on how are you doing with your daily 10-4s. Again, this is your business, your life. You decide how much you want to work. You joined real estate office and you chose this career because you want flexibility, and it's not up to me to tell you what you need to do and make you feel bad, but it's really, for me, is to be honest with you. This is what successful agents do, and if you want to be a successful agent, you're going to have to do it. I ask you for the 50th time today, if you were to learn or do anything, this is the one thing. daily 10-4. And forget, there's a lot of things in the course, but if you do this, this will lead to massive success. You'll be a rock star.
Hey, Art, real quick,
Yes.
are you going to show us how to look to determine turnover rate in neighborhoods and do
Yeah.
tax records?
So just go on there. You have access to multiple listing service. Yeah, so basically draw the map on the neighborhood and do sold in last 365. Then do sold in 730, or basically look how many homes sold in that geographical area. And then once you know, okay, let's say 5 homes have sold in that area. Then you go on the tax record and you draw the same map, or use a neighborhood name and see how many homes are in that neighborhood, right? You kind of you generate that report in a couple minutes. If we have time, we can do it. But again, it's very simple. You draw the map or just use a community or neighborhood name on the MLS. And I like going maybe 3 years, 5 years, because you might have a good 12 months, but you can look at the trends. If last 12 months, 5 sold, and in last 24 months, you see total of 15 sold. So what happened? Like, is it trending up, trending down? But that's how you do it. Very simple. So 10 contacts a day, add it to your database. 10 conversations a day, 10 handwritten notes. Now, the goal is to continue to add people to your database for the remainder of your career. And why is that important? Because life happens. People move out. People die, get hit by the bus. Different things happen. So your database will shrink to nothing if you don't continue to add. Eventually, through attrition, it will go to 0. So you have to continue to add people into your database. You're not going to be adding 10 a day, I can tell you. As a seasoned agent, you'll be adding maybe 1 a week, but you need to get to your first 100 as soon as you can. And now you actually have everything that you need. You have your phone book, you have your Facebook account, you have your LinkedIn, you have your email address book. Every one of you has. And don't be concerned if they are out of state. I added quite a few people from out of state. Still haven't made, I don't think I made much money out of that. But I needed to start somewhere. So I started putting people from Baltimore, from like West Virginia. And I was hoping, okay, maybe I will refer them to a local agent. Didn't quite work, honestly. But like at least that got me into, I had to break the sweat and start doing the activities and talk to those people. And it really helped me out with my scripts and dialogues. Now, scripts and dialogues, I was not a big fan of scripts. And now I can say I was totally not that smart. It took me a very long time to figure out the power of scripts. And until I got into coaching, I think I hired my coach, was about 2 months in the business or 3 months in the business. I hired Maps coach and it was $1,000 a month cost. And basically what the coach did for me was gave me scripts. And well, I already had scripts from Ignite, but he basically kept me accountable to have 20 conversations every day. And not 10, it was 20. And I had to fax on Friday. I would fax. It was an email. We used faxes back 8 years ago. And I would fax the contacts I made and how many dials I made and how many conversations I had. And it was really the craziest thing. I felt so stupid. It's like, I am paying someone $1,000 a month just to receive a fax from me. And then Monday we can look at it and go over like why I didn't make so many calls. But that was the one thing that caused me actually to do it. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have done it. But I felt bad. I said, like, I'm paying for accountability. I have a coach. I'm using the scripts. And so through the power of coaching, I kind of learned that I need to have scripts. And now all the scripts for me are all internalized, yet I have them all. I can pull them up. What's the script for expired? What's the script for sale by owner? What's the script for sphere of influence? Now they internalized. You can wake me up in the middle of night. It's kind of part of my language, but it wasn't that way. And if quick story, I was making calls to expired withdrawn listings. 8 in the morning, I would be always the first or second. Rob Chavez sometimes beat me. Maybe I beat him in the office, and a great agent in Kellam's Reston office. So, and I would start making calls to expired withdrawn listings. And first of all, I was like, no, I'm not going to just play games scripts. I mean, are you kidding me? Like, I know what to say. So I would make the calls. I couldn't make progress. I couldn't get a single appointment. And then the coach said, like, what scripts are you using? I was like, I'm not using any scripts. He goes, no, you're an idiot. You have to start using scripts. So I started using scripts, started role playing with people around the United States. I had role play partners in New Jersey and Chicago, and had people basically from all over the place, like role playing with them 3 times a week. And what happened one morning at 8 o'clock, I'm just calling expired withdrawal listing, and I'm using the scripts. And the lady says, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'll meet with you. Yeah, the house did not sell. I have a house in Alexandria. I'll meet with you. And I was like, I just turned red. I could not believe I set my first appointment. So I put the phone down and I hear someone is clapping. I wanted Earth to open up because I thought I was the only one in the office. No one usually comes so early. I turned like red, blue, and the guy, Pat Flynn, really powerful agent, he goes, dude, you sounded awesome. And as I was like, oh, I don't think so. Like, I don't think I sound any different. He goes, no, dude, you're like day and night. He goes, like, what happened to you? I said, I know, it must be scripts. It must be, that's the only thing that I've changed. I started using scripts. So don't laugh from scripts. Very, very powerful thing. Scripts. Okay. Role play. We'll do a little bit of role play. I'm gonna stop here. So let's take a quick 3-4 minute break. Okay. And we're gonna jump into next session. All right. Welcome back, Caitlin.
Thank you.
All right, so give me some ahs. What did you learn so far?
I've learned a lot. You know, the daily 10-4 is something that's a little different, but it's also kind of similar to my background in sales. So I'm just realizing that there's a lot that I've already kind of built up within doing a little bit something different where I can just kind of switch it over to here. So it's exciting.
Ardit, I'm trying to remember how to pronounce it. Ardit.
Yes.
Yes, you give me a couple ahas.
Legion every day.
Mm.
I have a question
Yeah.
about that. Do you ever do we used to have something called like a bluebird back when I worked in recruiting and stuff. And so if someone called in asking for like a specific, I don't know, whatever, like branch or whatever, like a person coming in and saying, hey, I have a house I want to put on the market. How does that work? Do you guys ever no, you don't do that?
No, so there isn't such thing. Like when in real estate, I've never heard that. It's so rare, and Corey can tell. Maybe once a year will be if someone who's going to come in and say, hey, I need a rental, or like I need to sell a house. It's such a rare thing. Like everybody knows a real estate agent. So they don't call companies, they call individuals usually. Right. They call Peter, they call or Dave, Caitlin, Chris, like, hey, I need to sell my house. Quite often they don't even know like what company you work with. They know the person.
Right. Okay. Good to know.
Chris, any ahas?
I think because I've been in sales for so long, it's the same principles. It's working your prospects and consistency. It's the same thing.
Wonderful. So here's what I recommend you do. We have 4 of you. You can actually choose your role play partner and do some role plays as we continue, because it's really important. Like I like saying, practice on cadavers. Like you don't do surgery on someone for the first time, right? You practice scripts, you practice your calls with someone who's your friend, someone who's your colleague, and you get better during practice. And again, it was really awkward for me. I was like, oh, no, I'm not going to call and play this game. And it really took me time. So Caitlin, Chris, who do you choose as your role play partner?
I'll choose Chris if that's allowed.
Okay. All right. So Peter,
I was going to say the same thing.
Okay, great.
Ardit and Peter, you are role play partners. So you guys feel free to connect directly. And I think the best thing would be if you just maybe put your phone numbers in the chat box. My phone number, I'll put my phone number as well. So that way you can connect directly and say, hey, let's do some role plays tomorrow at 1 o'clock, or let's do this weekly. Or you are independent contractors, but this is an opportunity for you guys to really like, if I don't connect you, it's the chances are it's you're not going to connect as far as like for role play sessions. But now, here's an opportunity. Peter just pinged our date, say, hey, buddy, when do you want to do role plays? And same thing with Caitlin and Chris. Now, before we jump into the next second part, which will go fast. I looked at the course of the second part. It's about prospecting. We'll go through it real fast. I want to do a quick role play. So Caitlin and Chris, you are the partners. One of you is a real estate agent, and one of you is a sphere of influence. So who wants to be real estate agent?
All right, Chris.
All right, Chris is. Caitlin's like, oh, thanks God. And Peter and Ardit, you guys decide who's going to be a real estate agent too. You have time to think. So, all right. So Chris is calling just a routinely phone call that you would normally do to Caitlin to ask for business. Go.
Sure. Hey, Caitlin, how are you? It's been a
Hey,
little bit since we've talked.
Yeah, I know. How are you? I'm doing okay over here.
I'm good. You staying warm and out of the snow and the ice?
Oh, well, trying to, I'm trying to avoid walking the dog today for sure.
Yeah. Well, I'd love to catch up over coffee in the next week or so, but I wanted to reach out and let you know that, as you know, I was working on reigniting my real estate license, and so I'm working in your area, and I'd love to connect and talk about maybe any people that you might know that might be buying or looking to buy or sell a house, and talk about how I might be able to help them. Now, obviously, they don't have to use me, but I just love the referral. So if you have time for coffee or maybe even lunch, love to take you to lunch, maybe up at Stone Tower Vineyard. It's supposed to be nicer later this week. If you have time in your calendar, would you like to go meet me for lunch up there?
Yeah, that's actually funny that you called. Our lease is kind of ending in 2 months here. So I actually am looking for a house myself with my boyfriend.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd love to get together for lunch or coffee, whatever works for you.
Perfect timing. No, I'd love it. So think about what your desirable location in your house is, and we can talk about it. How does Friday look for lunch? It's maybe do a later lunch at 1 o'clock or something. It'll be supposed to be nice out.
Perfect. I think Friday works great.
Okay, awesome. Looking forward to it.
All right, great. Perfect. I'll add it to my calendar.
Well done. Well done. What do you guys think? How did Chris do?
I think she did really well. I was a really easy customer for her, but I think she did a really good job.
Yeah, too easy.
I know, right?
But thank you for being easy.
Of course.
I like it. No, Chris is pretty natural, and she kind of gave options. Hey, would Friday work for you? And you say, well, would Saturday work better for you? Like if you had that, it's you make Caitlin in the control, you get you controlling the conversation. But this is like language of sales, right?
I wanted to bring something up.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, Caitlin, you've done sales too. One of the things that was drilled into me as a salesperson is you never get off the phone without a next step. Never.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if it's, hey, I'm too busy to talk to you, you get, when can I call you back? You make no is okay. It's right now is no right now is okay, but just get some sort of, hey, check back in a month or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
And one of the things that we used to do all the time in role playing and actually just in real sales myself is always saying a time, giving them the option of what time works for you, but here's the actual times that I'm telling you that works for me. It's kind of like a trick of the trade. I really love it.
Yeah. And what Chris is saying, when you go to Macy's and a store clerk runs to you hey, what can I help you with? And he's like, no, it's not a good time. Right? It doesn't mean that you don't need it. You are in the store for a reason. You do need some kind of help. You just don't want to talk to that person at that time. But then when you're looking for the exact size shoe, you're going to be like, where the hell is that Clark? I need him now. And that's where you have to call them all the time and maybe set up another follow-up calls, as Chris said, where maybe you call them during not a good time and you set up a next time and you check back with them. So no, I love it. Good job. All right, Peter and Ardit, who is the agent?
What do you think, Ardit?
What do you think, Peter?
I'll be the agent. We'll end this volley.
All right.
All right, go guys.
All right. Hi, Ardit. It's Peter Engel here. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, Peter. How are you doing today?
I'm real good, thanks. Just trying to get through this weather. Hey, it's been a while since we talked. I just wanted to touch base and see how you're doing.
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for calling.
Oh, that's good to hear. Hey, I'm a realtor. I'm always looking to see if I can help people. So I was just wanted to touch base with you and see what your situation is. I know you moved here recently, and I don't know how permanently settled you are.
So yeah, I moved here a few years back, but I'm liking it around here, making some friends and connections as well. Going around.
Well, that's good. The friends that you're making, I'm interested in seeing if there's anybody I can help with real estate or just in the area itself. Is there anybody that I can ask you to think about, and maybe we can get together in a couple of days, a week or so?
You know what? Now that I think about it, I have a couple of friends that are looking for, to buy a house in probably this coming summer. So yeah.
Okay, well that's great. That gives everybody some time to do some planning. Where do you like to go to get coffee?
You know what? I'll let you choose, and I'll come wherever you want.
All right. Well, there's there's a Starbucks at One Loudon. Does that work for you?
I love Starbucks. Yeah, it's perfect London as well.
Okay. So what about this week? Thursday, Friday? What time of the day is best for you?
No, Friday probably in the before, like in the morning, might work.
Okay. At 9 o'clock too early?
Sure, 9 o'clock sounds great.
Okay, that's super. I'll look forward to seeing you there at 9. If you don't mind, I'll just send you a text to follow up, and look forward to seeing you there.
Awesome. Looking forward to see you there as well. You have a great
All
day,
right.
Peter.
Great. Thanks, Art. You too. Good talking to you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, ladies, what do you think? How the boys did?
I think they did really good. I like the follow up with the text thing. For me working in sales and reaching out to CFOs, I was always doing the Gmail calendar invite situation. So that's interesting that you said text, because now maybe I'm going to use that. I'm going to steal that from you, Peter.
Sure.
I was going
Actually,
to say the same thing. I like that file. That hey, I'm going to check in with you.
It's way more personal, honestly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So true confessions. As we're doing this role playing, I'm not sure that I have any other contact information except that I've got Arted on the phone. So that's why I chose to follow up that way.
Oh, smart.
Yeah. So there are hundreds or thousands of scripts that we can use. Yet what ends up happening when we have a whole book of scripts, we end up using none of them. So like, I like the simplicity to condensing to something that really is close to me and very simple. And so I easily can remember and memorize. And my script is pretty simple. Like some people, I don't think if it's that effective. I think it can be more powerful, but I'm kind of like very, very direct on my calls. Like I'm not hiding the reason why I'm calling. And again, some people might not like it because like, man, Art always calls and asks for business. Like that's what I do, right? Like, so, and I think some people might say, man, it's Art calling me again. He's going to say the same thing over and over and over again, and it hasn't changed. So again, I'm not saying that my script is the best, but I use it. And so for me, it's like, hey, hi, Caitlin, this is Art. How you doing? You want to talk to me quickly? Let's do it. Ring, ring. Caitlin, I'm calling you.
Sorry, I was on mute. Hey, how are you, Art?
Great. How are you? How are you, Caitlin?
I'm doing okay. With COVID, we're definitely getting close quarters over here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just wanted Caitlin to check in with you, see if you have any friends or family members who are looking to move in later this year.
You know what? I actually don't think that I do, but I would be happy to reach out to a few of them and give them your name.
Oh, you're so nice, Caitlin. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I know you're busy. I'll let you go. I'll check back with you, and if I don't hear from you in the next few months, okay?
All right, sounds like a plan. Have a good one, Art.
Yeah, thanks. So it's very selfish, right? Like selfish. I called literally like, and if it's my friend, I'm not gonna just go directly into this. I'm gonna just do a little bit of, hey, how are you kids? How's everything? But if someone is in my database that I don't really know who they are, like, so I would just call them, hey, this is Art, Keller Is Realty, just checking in with you, see if you had any real estate related plans this year. Because I have like a lot of people that I have no clue who they are. I have 9,000 people in my command. I can delete 8,550 and I'm not gonna lose a single transaction. Again, I shared you the numbers. Those are all the leads I paid $30,000 a month to capture, and they're useless. But if some of them I still follow up, like some of them are like old expired, old withdrawn listings or old open house prospects. I will still make call to them, but my call will be this very generic, very dry. Hey, this is Art, Keller Is Realty, just checking in with you, see if you had any real estate plans later this year. That's it. And if you're my friend, again, don't be this selfish guy who just calls and asks for business, give something in return. So some agents like say, hey, hi, this is Cece, and I have a really good contractors. If you need any help, roof guy, painter, like I have, being a real estate professional, I have a lot of resources. If you guys ever need any help, if you need a painter, if you need like roofer, just feel free to give me a call, right? So that's where you're coming from contribution. I think those are calls are way more effective. And then you, on top of it, once you say, once you have this conversation, they're going to say, oh my gosh, this is so wonderful. Then at the end, you still ask for business. Like, hey, do you know if anyone buying or selling, right? You can also say, hey, interest rates are so low. We work with McLean Mortgage. They are our preferred partner. We have a lady, Jocelyn. She actually refinanced a few of my clients. Have you guys considered refinancing? There's like interest rates at 2.8%. What are you guys paying now? Like you coming from contribution, right? Like that. And those are all the reasons to call, right? If you don't want to just call and ask for business, use something to give yourself permission, right? And again, there's no shortage of information that you can call them about. You can call them, say, hey, I don't know if you've been reading news lately. The inventory is all-time low, right? We have 50% less homes than we had last year for sale. Then you know if anyone looking to sell a house? Because we desperately need inventory. Like that's another call. You educate them about the market conditions, and then you ask for business, right? So again, add something to it, but it's really not that complicated. Very, very simple. But please set up a call. Caitlin, connect Chris, connect Caitlin, and Ardit and Peter, you guys connect too. Do some role plays. You do have scripts, I believe, in your handouts, right? You looked at your handouts? You must have a script in there. And if you don't, let me know. Anyone wants to look at your handout that Kari emailed? I'm going to look myself. I think you have scripts. If you go to your Spark, we do scripts. Is that pretty loud, the sound? Like, do you hear the sound? Or no? It's pretty loud? Okay, no, like, do you hear the vacuum cleaner or no? Okay, good. I want to make sure because we have like some vacuum cleaning going on. Yeah, you do have scripts. Just, I would recommend you don't get lost. Just role play your sphere of influence calls. Just continue to do the same thing over and over and over again. All right, let's jump to prospecting. Let me see if I can share my screen. I'm going to share this. Play. I need to. Nope. Come on, computer. Let's do. Well. Okay, you can see it. All right. So we talked a little bit about prospecting and marketing. Again, we all get excited about prospecting, about marketing. None of us are excited about prospecting. We think that, okay, there's some kind of way that we can capture the business without making a phone call. Eventually, yes, if you stay in the business long enough, you will have people calling you. Yet, if you want to continue to grow, you will always have to do prospecting, right? So when you look at this funnel, it's a big funnel. When you made a commitment today, I'm going to start lead generating. I'm going to be doing marketing activities, and you're going to be dripping leads into this big funnel. And as you drip it, you're going to notice that nothing is coming out for a very, very long time. And it's really frustrating. It might be 6 months of drips, And you're gonna say like, wow, maybe this is not for me. Like, how in the world I'm putting so much time and effort and getting zero results. So I want to see if there's a spotlight. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can do things here. So you see how big is the funnel here? It's pretty big. It can fit a lot of leads, and that's why nothing is really coming out for a very, very long time. But eventually it starts coming out from like a fire hose. And that's where you really say, oh, okay, I see it. I start cultivating and nurturing. I have appointments now, and then we go and write contracts and we go to the closing. But I think the challenge is that, again, we all maybe not spending enough time here in capturing the leads. We're looking like, okay, why nothing is coming out? This will come out. If you do your daily 10-4, eventually it will come out. It worked for me, it worked for everybody else. So I'm sure it's going to work for you as well. Just continue to lead gen daily. I actually think about this funnel all the time. Like when I was like, well, my funnel must be really wide on the top, because like why it's not coming out. You have to put so many leads for anything to happen. If you just have one buyer, one seller, most likely nothing's going to come out. But if you have 10, 15, 20, 30, 100 of them, something will start coming out eventually. Message, offer, prospecting. All right, so we talked a little bit about this already. Yeah, prospecting versus marketing. In prospecting, you're going to get immediate results. That's what I like about prospecting. Whether you're new in the area or you're new to the business, you can actually start doing open houses and you're going to get results. Like the way I look at prospecting and the way I chose, for example, my lead gen method, it was very simple. If I was just to do geographical farming, if I choose a neighborhood of 1,000 homes, I need to market myself to 1,000 homes and to identify the 50 potential sellers that will be selling in the next 12 months. And it's really casting a wide net, right? They don't know me, they've never met me. So it was really long term, like difficult for me to comprehend how it's going to work. And it doesn't work quite often. I have neighborhoods that have been mailing for 3 years. I have not received one listing yet. 3 years of mailings. So don't get too excited about mailings. So I said, okay, what can I do? I can do open houses. Think about this. A lot of times people come to open houses. Why? Because they're in the dreaming phase. They don't have a real estate agent yet. And I was like, okay, this is a perfect fit. I'm a real estate agent. I'm sitting in the house and I have people coming to me Sunday 1 to 4, and many of them don't have an agent. It's like, wow, this is so cool. I want to do open houses. I want to meet as many people who don't have agents as possible. Well, little did I know that I have to go through maybe 30, 40 open house visitors to capture one. Like that came later. I figured that out later. But this is a great place for you to capture buyers. Then for listings, I say, okay, how do I find listings? I can do geographical farming, cast a wide net, or I can go for sale by owners. Think about for sale by owners. They already raised the hand. They said, hey, I want to sell the house, but I don't want to pay the commission. So all I have to do is call them, get to meet, spend time with them, and educate them that I'm the right person and I'm going to save them money. Working with an agent, they won't have to do anything, and I'll get them more money than they would get themselves. And the other group was like, okay, how about expired withdrawal listings? The houses that didn't sell with another agent. The sellers already raised their hand. They said, I want to sell my house and I'm willing to pay the commission. So I got so excited about expired withdrawal listings, but that excitement really faded quickly when I called them at 9 o'clock and I was calling number 35. And they yell at me. It's like, are you going to stop calling me? I'm going to report you to police. You guys been calling me since 7 in the morning. And so my excitement kind of really went down a little bit, but I kind of stick with it. I said, I'm going to be better than any other agent who's calling them. Right. So that's how, like, look at all those things that I shared with you, whether it's for sale by owner, expired withdrawal listing, doing an open house. These are all prospecting activities. They are time intensive, they are proactive, and you get immediate results. Versus in marketing, you will be basically spending money. So it's money intensive, and you'll get, it's more passive approach and long-term results. You're kind of hoping that someone will call you. I'm going to be mailing for the next 12 months to that neighborhood with the hope that someone's going to call me to list a house with. Again, I have neighborhoods that I've been mailing for 3 years without results. Just giving you, we tried different marketing campaigns, different postcards, different messages. I've been in coaching for the most part of my career, with at some point having 2 coaches, one in marketing, one in prospecting, $2,500 a month in coaching fees. And we've tried everything. For the best marketing systems were the ones that were breaking even. It's kind of sad. So that's why the point I want to make, it needs to be prospecting based and marketing enhanced business. Only that way you will be able to generate enough revenue. And as you generate revenue, you can invest some money in marketing and see how it works. See what kind of results do you get. So prospecting, what are the ways? FSBOs, like these are the for sale by owners, expired listings. You can do circle prospecting. You basically cold call the neighborhoods, apartment complexes, recently sold listings, builders, banks, door to door, door knocking. Oh, I see a lot of agents having, well, very few agents are doing door knocking, but the ones who are really killing it. There's like, when was the last time when you went to door knock? When did you see the line of agents door knocking? There are no lines. You'll be the only one door knocking, right? I've tried some door knocking. It wasn't my thing. I was like, like when I door knock, I actually literally pray that no one opens the door every time, because I don't want to say, yeah. At least when I make a phone call, they don't see me. It's like I can hide behind the phone. And when you door knock, they open the door and then they look at you, they scan you. And I've done it a few attempts. It wasn't my thing, but again, I know agents who do it at very high level. So what prospecting avenues are you going to choose? Like, these are the things that you do to add to your sphere of influence, to grow your sphere of influence. You can do networking, you can do, again, door-to-door knocking, you can do any teaching and speaking opportunities outside the industry. You have to do certain different things so more people know of you, who you are, and you're able to capture their information, phone number, email, and address. Now, again, that's why we say sphere of influence is a low-hanging fruit. The people already know you, they trust you, and it's less painful to grow your business through your sphere of influence. But again, at some point, you're going to have to add new sources to your database. Okay. Door knocking, agent-to-agent referrals, open houses, social media. Social media is becoming a big thing. Again, I've experimented with social media, different things. We used to run Facebook pay-per-click ads, Google pay-per-click ads, funnel all the leads into. We have a lead generator now in Command where you can run different ads. I'm going to be totally honest. Those business pages usually don't get a lot of attention, don't get a lot of likes. I've been doing the videos for 2.5 years through viral marketing, $750 a month cost, 2 videos, educational videos every month, and would post that on Facebook, send it to all the database, and you post it on your business page, you have 5 likes. It's your mom, your uncle, and like maybe your sister, and you post some stupid like cat video on Facebook, and you're gonna have 300 likes, and everybody's engaging. So the idea on social media, you want to do about 80% of your personal life posts and about 20% business related, right? So that's kind of a healthy way. And again, if you go to take any social media classes, they're going to talk about, hey, you need to create your business page. Go ahead, do it. Yet again, just be realistic. You're not going to get a lot of engagement in your business page. On your business page, what normally agents do, I see they post something real estate related on their business page, and then they share it on their personal wall. This whole thing, the reason you do this is like any other marketing. It's just to earn the mind share. Like you want to take some space in your sphere of influence's brain, whether it's through emails, social media posts, or mailings. So as far as mailings, on your daily 10-4, one is personal note. And here's the beauty of mailings. As of today is what? February 22nd, 2021. There has not been a way how to unsubscribe through a mailer yet. You can unsubscribe on your emails from people that you don't want to get anything. You can block people on Facebook, but mailing is the most effective way. So when we say mail, thank you card, mail a letter, those things have the best penetration. And if it's a handwritten note with a real stamp on it, the opening rate will be the highest out of all the different marketing strategies. You'll see this will go through the roof as far as opening rate. And that's what you want. You want people to see your face, right? Or see your note. So be prospecting based, marketing enhanced. Chris, I know you want to learn about marketing. I respect that, and go ahead, do it, and just remember one thing, that you will have to fund this by doing a lot of prospecting. And when you're at a certain level, when you have, let's say 10, 15 transactions a year coming from your database, I think that you earn your right to go to more marketing based, and then maybe prospecting enhanced. But prospecting will always be a part of your career. You just have to get used to it. So door knocking, you approach the door, you ask for contact information, and then you put them in the database and follow up. The model is very, very simple. And when people door knock, you like item of value can be neighborhood sales. You can just print one from MLS last 5 sales and say, hey, this is Chris with Keller Is Realty. 3 homes have sold in your neighborhood last 12 months. There are no active listings. And in our office, we work with a lot of buyers. I was thinking if you guys have any plans of selling your house. And if they say no, well, do you know of any neighbors who are planning on selling, right? That's the script. And if you continue to do that, the same neighborhood, once a quarter, you're going to build a big business. I had actually met one agent. He was on the panel on one of the Keller Is events. He was closing, I forgot, 300 homes a year from door knocking. And he literally doesn't do anything else, just door knocks. The moment someone says, yes, I want to sell the house, he sends a text to his office, and he has 2 full-time admins, and they take it from there. Like, he's not involved in the ordering the signs, ordering brochures, anything. All he does is he door knocks. He loves it, older man, and rain or shine, he goes, he gets his exercise, and gets his steps for the day, and sells 300 homes as a result. Makes probably about $1 million in the profit. Really great business. Again, it's not for everyone. Agent to agent referrals, and in Command, we do have ways of get referrals from other agents. prospecting based, marketing enhanced. So social media, yep, social media posts, talked about this, about 80% personal, 20% business related posts. And you don't have to go too wide. At some point I had 40 marketing systems, and for the most agents get 80% of their business from maybe 4 or 5 sources. So you don't have to go really wide. It could be door knocking and sphere of influence. Like I would focus just on one thing now. Usually for the most agents, it's going to be sphere of influence. Then for me, it was expired withdrawn listing. For you, it might be open house, but you don't have to go really wide. Okay, so daily 10-4, you have to do that. We expect you to do that. This is one thing that will really lead you to success. 10 contacts a day, 10 added to your database, 10 conversations, 10 handwritten notes. And this one, again, I would give you get out of jail pass. If you didn't do that, I wouldn't lose sleep if you didn't do previews, especially COVID time. You know, you might be interested in yourself just doing some comparative market analysis, look at some homes on the MLS. But this is a must. Like that's where make you or break you, right? Talk about scripts. So as far as scripts, you guys have script partners, and my understanding is you're going to connect and do some role plays later today. And then next session will be on Wednesday, and I believe Maggie's is leading it, and Maggie's will check in with you on your daily 10-4. I would not wait till Wednesday to do your daily 10-4. I would start doing it now. You have some time today, do it tomorrow. Like if you do it every day, you'll be light years ahead from everyone else. So that is it. It's 12 o'clock. I want to say big thank you to all of you. Scroll.
Thank you, Art.
Yep, I enjoyed getting to know you, and I will be seeing you again at the last session. We're probably going to do like a blast off. We're going to launch you into the career. And I can't wait to see all your daily 10-4s. And you guys, I have 200 people. I have 2 referrals. I have this. I can't wait to see that result. You want to say something, Peter? Or
no, I was going to say thanks. This is great. And I look forward to seeing everybody on Wednesday.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Cece, for joining. Caitlin.
Thank you.
Dave, Chris. Good seeing you.